They say April showers bring May flowers, but it's been dry as hell. A four-leaf clover can bring you closer to love than pennies in a well. Well, I've been waiting on a shooting star, but ain't a damn one of them fell. And if it does, I'll be too crossed up to even tell.
Well, this is Cowboy Shit once again. My name is Ted Stovin. He is Wacey Andersen, and this is another episode of the Truck Cast.
We're back.
We're back. We are on the road currently between Lloydminster and Fabian, Alberta, doing a bit of a sales trip. Wacey, thank you for coming out. Thanks for driving me. I appreciate having a driver on these trips.
I like driving.
I do too.
Yeah, I really
also
like
like
driving. So since I've turned 30, I've started to get car sick.
Really?
Yeah.
No
like
shit.
really in the last 6 months I've really noticed, especially if I'm in a small car in the back seat.
Really?
Like if I'm on my phone or not having a good time, I get car sick. Oops, sorry. I get car sick real fast.
Careful.
Just lost hold of the steering wheel there for a second.
Uh-oh.
We're all good. It's good. It's good.
It's good?
Yeah, it's
You
good.
sure?
Yeah, it's good.
It looks like it's not good.
Ah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't tip over yet?
Nope.
Okay.
But yeah.
Car sick.
Yeah, I've
Really?
noticed I've been getting car sick more. So yeah.
Do you think that you were before you didn't know what it was?
No, I noticeably car sick. Even
Really?
So being able to drive and being able to focus on the road and have my head out of my phone is not a bad deal. So
I have to lay down in the back seat if I'm not driving.
Yeah,
That's one reason I bought a crew cab truck, because I knew if I ever had to ride back there, I didn't want to feel shitty. I wanted
yeah,
space.
exactly. It's even sitting in the back of a truck. When we were on the way to Vegas, it wasn't so bad because I was in a truck. But in a car, Jen's dad has a small Honda Civic hatchback thing, and it fucking if I'm in the back seat, it kills me. I'm so sick.
Really?
Yeah.
How long? You're not driving very far in Vernon.
Say to the air from the Vernon to the airport, it's 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, just
Is it better if you're up front?
Yeah, usually. I noticed it for the first time when we were at the Sunshine Coast last fall. I rode in the back seat on the way to the mountain bike park, and it was kind of a windy road, and I just I felt I could hardly bike in the morning. I was feeling so ill. So
Really? Damn.
it's made me appreciate driving. I just like being in control and driving. And
That's what I felt like with driving to and from Vegas. I would have been too bored. I would have had to sit in the back.
it's just this nice. Usually put on a podcast or some music or whatever. So
Yeah.
but yeah, car sick, not fun.
Dang. I got car sick when Cade was driving on the way home from Vegas the other day. So I guess since we did our last show, I was at home for a while, then I flew to Vegas on Wednesday, golf with Cade and Donnie Joe in Mesquite. So he picked us up in Vegas. You know what the craziest part of the story was, though? Not crazy, but it's shitty. We got a Uber. I thought getting an Uber wouldn't be that bad. So we got a big Uber because it was we needed to take our clubs.
Uber from in Mesquite to the golf course?
No, from the airport in Vegas to some random Costco Donnie was parked at.
Okay.
$125
What
US.
the fuck?
Yeah, and it was a pretty long ride. It was far.
Yeah.
But we got surge priced, and it was fine. And then all of a sudden, bam, they surge priced us because it was 5 o'clock Vegas time. And it really wasn't that long of a ride. It was 25 minutes, maybe 20, 25.
Damn.
So yeah, 125 US.
Dude,
Fuck.
that sucks.
Yeah, that's
been happening in Calgary too.
It's almost as much as the fucking flight down there.
Yeah, dude.
Get
That's
a fucking Uber.
Fucking brutal.
Just so Donnie didn't have to pick us up closer to the airport.
At one time, Uber was the best, but maybe it's not the play no more.
Well, Kate was like, we should just get a cab. And I was I like Uber better. And we don't have to
Yeah.
deal with waiting in a fucking cab line
Dirty
and
old cab,
fucking
yeah.
around. And Donnie had been there since 2 p.m. We got there at 5 because he's extra early for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could have literally met us 10 miles closer and saved $200.
Fuck, that's bad.
I just
dude.
didn't tell Donnie because I didn't want to feel bad.
I guess he has a big trailer on, so it makes it a little harder.
26-foot trailer. So it's not
But
you can just
still,
pull that through the airport.
$126. Fuck that.
US dollars.
So bad.
$3,000 Canadian right now.
Oh, so bad.
Anyways, yeah, thanks to America for having me again.
We like America.
Mesquite, Wolf Creek Golf Course in Mesquite, totally badass. And then we golfed at the Palms as well. And the Palms was really flat on the front, but the back nine was really cool. We actually had a really nice time.
Man, I'm so pumped golf is here.
Yeah, me too. But Wolf Creek, anybody that's ever got a chance to go play Wolf Creek, I would 100% recommend it. It's pretty expensive, but we got a package with the golf course. We got rooms and golf
Stay
together.
and play, baby.
Stay and play, yeah. So it worked out. It was decent. It was still kind of expensive, but I don't know, whatever.
Some of that kind of stuff, the experience is worth the extra money.
Yeah, it was cool. We played 48 holes of golf in 2 days.
Yeah, that's deadly.
We
Dialed
played
in.
got another spin on Wolf Creek, got another 12 holes in, I think.
Sick.
That was pretty cool. Almost got 2 full rounds, but
That's
it got
not
too
bad.
dark. We ran out of daylight.
I guess they're kind of. It's not quite peak summertime sun yet. So
No,
can't
correct.
really get that.
Although Vegas is, you don't get much variation there anyways.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
not like Canada where we get 17 hours
Yeah.
and then we get 7 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, man, that was good. Guess next week, the show comes out, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, man.
Well, April 6th or something?
Today's the 4th.
Fifth?
I think the
Fifth?
5th. Yeah.
Yeah, so then then we go to Herbert for the weekend. Then next week I'm going to zip down to Denver, see my Montana sales manager, Jade, and friend Patrick Powers also works for Montana. We're going to go to the Oilers are in Denver.
Nice.
So we're going to see the Avalanche and Oilers, second last game of the season.
Which could be a good
Could be
game because
big.
it has big implications on the
could.
season. Yeah.
It very well could. And then, Oilers could win the division still, potentially, or
Yep.
could be fighting for home ice. They're playing LA tonight, so that'll be kind of cool. But
yeah.
Calgary still got a chance. But yeah, then we're going to go to a baseball game the next day. Then I
Nice.
zip home and go to a buddy's birthday party over in Kelowna.
Damn.
So yeah, we got a fun little bit of time here. Then I go to my first Canadian Pro Rodeo of the year, Dawson Creek.
Dawson Creek, the spring rodeo is here.
Then you got your first rodeo in Battleford, end of the month.
Battleford.
And we got the Horse Expo too.
Which works out really well because
Lots
my
going on.
nephew is turning 1, so I get to go to his one year birthday party that weekend. So it actually
good.
worked out perfectly.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Man, okay, one thing I wanted to bring up that I just
Yes.
remembered. There's
Yes.
a clip circulating from Joe Rogan's interview with Luke Combs either a week or two ago
Oh,
now.
about Banff.
Talking about Coulter Wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they were talking
They talked about Banff too.
Yeah, talked about Banff and they're talking about Coulter Wall.
Extra
and,
Montana.
and
That's
Joe-
what Banff is.
And Joe was like fucking like still like trying to get he's been trying to get Coulter on for like a year and a half and they're like he's like still saying he doesn't do any media, but I just wanted to reiterate that we have an interview with Coulter Wall,
Yeah.
episode 77. So
Tell your friends.
For those of you looking to hear more about
Tell
Coulter
Joe
Wall's story,
Rogan.
check it out. Yeah, tell Joe Rogan that suck it, we got him first.
Remember, speaking of Coulter, and it made me think, I just saw him again the other day seeing Sandy Cooper. So I saw Sandy and Maggie. Sandy, for those who don't know, got in a bronc riding wreck, broke his C3 and 4, I think, really up high. Didn't know what was going to happen, but now he's up and he's standing and he's walking
neck
a bit.
break off, neck brace
is off.
Yeah.
So great to see that going the right
Man,
way
I'd love to see it.
for Sandy.
You can
Good
still
to have
check
a
out his
good visit.
GoFundMe too
Yeah.
in our bio. So
And he's got merchandise too. They're using for fundraising as well. So
yeah, hell yeah,
yeah,
good folks
support
from
Sandy.
there over there in the Cypress Hills.
Yeah, man, we had a fun chat. It was like Sandy was interviewing me that day. I just told him a bunch of stories. We had a lot of fun.
That guy's impressive, dude. Like that, the time when you and I went to visit him, like he's just so he wants to know things. Like he just likes to. He's
Yeah.
really inquisitive and likes hearing the stories. And he's a young rodeo guy too, so it's
only
nice to share
16
some
or
stories.
17.
Yeah, it's nice to share stories with him and visit. He's got such a positive and like bright personality that he's just nice to be around. That guy.
I told him some fun stories that weren't allowed to be shared anywhere else.
PG-13.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Anyways, we had a good time.
Yeah, they're good folks.
But it made me think of something else now too. What the heck was it? Sandy. Oh yeah, this is what it was. So I called Brett Gardner the other day because I was like, Brett, I have this thought in my head and I wonder what we should do about it because there's not many rodeo announcer stands that are wheelchair accessible. And I haven't told Sandy about this yet, but I want to say, Sandy, like, I don't know what you want to do moving forward in rodeo, but I want to offer to help you on the sound or audio or announcing or like.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, but we got to figure this out to how to get him in the announcer stand if he's got to, right? So we got to work on some of that for him. But I maybe think like not all the rodeo is very accessible at
It's
times.
not very accessible. Like there's
Yeah.
the only rodeo grounds I can think that have a wheelchair accessible grandstand right now that I can think of is like TP Creek would be one of them.
Yep.
Calgary Stampede, I guess they would definitely have it.
Yeah, and I think Grand Prairie,
Panoka's got to have it. Grand Prairie,
Armstrong does, Strathmore
Armstrong.
does. I think most do, but it never hasn't been something.
But I think even just getting
up
at some
sometimes.
point, so like getting to that section for someone in a wheelchair would be
Could be a
a
major pain
hard
in the
task.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
here's
something I thought of, I was like, yeah, we got to make this.
More
I
accessible.
I haven't even offered it yet. Like I haven't even told
Yeah.
him, but it got me thinking. I was like, hey, like if he wants to still be involved, I'd be glad to show him how to do the music side of things.
hell yeah.
Then I was like, shit, we got to get him so we can get around. But he might be able to walk out of there soon too. We don't know.
yeah,
Could be outstanding too.
The progress that he's made in the past few months is
amazing.
damn impressive. So
Yeah,
keep chugging along, Sandy boy.
yeah. What else you got?
You guys went to the Royal Television Museum.
Yeah. I think we talked about that last show, didn't we?
No, we did not. No,
We didn't?
no.
Yeah, so what was going on? So Storm went to... she went skiing with Mel. So Corb's fiance Mel, they went skiing together.
Nice.
And Lake Louise, went to the Nordic Spa. Another friend of theirs who I think it was Christine was her name. I forget now, but I'm pretty sure that was what it was. Anyways,
Yeah.
she flew up here, and she actually has a minor in paleontology.
Sick.
Yeah. So I didn't end up getting to hang out with her much at the museum.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of made our own paths, and I wanted to go see Dustin and Allie.
I pretty much have a minor in paleontology. I took introduction to dinosaurs in university.
But you said something about this too. But ouch, neck. Anyways, that hurt. So dinosaurs. You were trying to tell me that there's something about people don't think dinosaurs are real.
I've seen some clips circulating around on different podcasts and different social media channels of people discussing whether dinosaurs are real or not. Which I will never question that, because like there's literally the bones of them living in the earth. But there's people out there, out there thinking that ain't real.
For those that are wondering where we stand,
we're down with science.
Yeah, science. I think science is real, and that may trouble some folks. But I think anybody that doesn't think dinosaurs are real has obviously, number one, never been to that museum.
So I wanted to mention that the Royal Tower Museum is like a paleontology museum in Drumheller, Alberta. It's like a world-renowned place. They found like some of the best fossils in the world in that area of Alberta.
And
so for
a lot of places in Alberta.
Yeah, it's kind of from all over. I think there's some stuff from the U.S. in there too.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
some of them are cast, or I don't know what they.
Yeah, well, they don't like hardly put any of the real fossils out. It's all cast.
No, there's tons of real fossils there. It's crazy.
Oh,
there's even some that you can touch. Like, it's unbelievable, man.
I haven't been in so long.
Oh, it was so cool. Yeah, so we spent the time, and then Corb came up too, and I would have seen him at the. We went and met him he met us at Pearl and Heart, Dustin and Allie's store.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got to hang out there with Dustin and Allie. I made some coffees for everybody on Allie's sweet coffee machine.
Nice.
Had some fun stuff, but we had a really good chat there, but we went to the museum, and to see that stuff was just mind-boggling.
Cool, hey?
And then the timing of the how long they were around and the millions of years ago. I can understand why people might not think they're real, because unfortunately us as humans,
we're not that old.
We're not that old. Like, we're extremely young.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what humans will be like in a million years or hundreds of millions of years. But the unfortunate part is I don't know if we'll even be around that long.
Yeah.
Because I think we're kind of like turned ourselves into ants on Earth, and there's too many of us creating too many.
Yes.
I don't know the whole thing about climate change and what all is going on. There's been 5 or 6 mass extinctions on the planet Earth already in the existence of time. It's kind of mind-boggling to think about the timelines.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we're still a pretty, I don't know.
We're still
pretty early in our existence.
Yeah, we're still figuring shit out. So
yeah, and we've already done quite a lot.
Yeah, we have.
But what are we going to be like in a million years if we can stay around?
I don't know, man.
I wonder.
It's gonna be crazy as hell.
Yeah, I wonder.
One of my fondest memories from the Royal Tower Museum. It's a funny memory. We went when we did a little road. I think we were coming up to the Calgary Stampede. We left a few days early, and we drove through Drumheller. And they used to have a place in Drum called Reptile Gardens, or Reptile World, or some shit.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
got shut down. Yeah. And like, for those who know me, and this is no secret, that I'm fucking terrified of snakes. Like, so scared of them. And they had an anaconda in there.
Oh boy!
And my parents drugged me in that place, and I cried from the moment we walked through the door to the moment we walked out. And it was just a bad deal, and I was really scared. So then, because all I wanted to do was go to the museum, because I think the first Jurassic Park came out when I was like 2 or something. But so I watched like a lot of the Jurassic Parks growing up, and I was obsessed with like T-Rexes and stuff. So like going to see that for the first time was fucking one of the coolest things ever.
Oh, there's one called Black Beauty there. That's like almost totally.
That's like the best fossil, or like most like complete fossil of a T-Rex ever found.
Oh really?
And I think it was found in like the Drum Valley. Yeah.
Totally unbelievable. Like
so cool, man.
The scale and the size of those things, and oh my god! And like, to imagine that the dinosaurs used to roam the earth.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool.
How many millions of years ago? It's totally unbelievable.
It's badass. Dinosaurs are cool.
So, I'm not trying to make an ad here for the for the Royal Tyrrell,
but check it out. But
I am making an ad for Barney's Adventure Park in Pearl and Heart. When you're on your way to and from, when you're on your way to and from Drumheller to the museum, go and check out our friend's business, the True Love Bachelor story. Dustin and Allie.
They basically are like taking over Drumheller. Like, Dustin's probably fixing to run for mayor soon.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's...
Love to see it.
That's kind of what we've been up to the last little while. But we have a fun show here this week. Thanks to Ben Andersen for joining us. We had a really good chat with Ben a couple weeks ago. Yeah. But we'll get back with a bit more after this. Enjoy the show, folks.
I'd be spinning my wheels going nowhere fast. Pocket full of sorries and an empty I had no cattle and some tumbleweed boots. I'd be blowing in the wind if I didn't have you. I'd be a drunk without a drink, a guitar with a broken string. Without you I'd be a falling star without a midnight sky. Cowboy with no horse to ride.
Okay, our next guest is a CFR and Wrangler National Finals qualifier in the Saddle Bronc Riding, and he is part of the new wave of Canadian Saddle Bronc Riders. Currently number 18 in the world standings from Eckville, Alberta. Welcome to the Cowboy Shit podcast, Ben Andersen. Ben.
Thanks, boys.
How's it going, dude? Yeah, we've been trying to get this done for a while. It's good to have you. Get make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Where are you on the road to now? For those who can't see what we're doing, Ben's currently coming at us live from his cabin's truck.
Yeah, heading down the road. Yeah, just going to Houston for the semifinals tonight.
Nice. So do you know what horse you got there tonight? Or how have they driven up to that?
Xena Warrior, yeah.
Nice. How much of an advantage is that for you Canadian guys? Like, seems to be a lot of the times you guys end up drawing it up against Canadian horses at these winter rodeos.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always sweet to draw into Calgary. So I don't know if it's an advantage because they all buck it. You know, it's just, you got to make it happen. But yeah, I guess in this pen, it kind of is an advantage, honestly, they kind of have some funny set pens here sometimes. Usually the Calgary horses are the top end kind of. So it was a good draw, definitely, and I'm excited to get on there.
Who else is in your semifinal? Like, what's the competition stacking up like?
Oh, I know. I don't even. Statler's in there, and I didn't actually look at it, but just see what I had. Logs is in there, yeah. Logan Hay, and I didn't actually look at the list, but
yes, it's pretty cool that Houston's giving out those guitars for like Super Series wins this year. Hey, there's actually some cool like celebrations on their social media. That's cool.
Yeah, Logs is good, and then Cool Raiders is funny pretending to smash it, but those are a sweet deal, and honestly, more places should have cool gifts like that. It's kind of something you don't see a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's pretty neat. They did it last year too, and I definitely want one of those before they give it up.
Well, maybe tonight. Do they give them out for the semifinal rounds too?
No, they just your series.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think.
Yeah. It is cool to see like different prizes given out. I know last year at the Kelowna PBR they gave out like a surfboard to the champion there, which is really cool.
Yeah, Juan Chuck got one time, and then he
Corpus Christi.
He didn't claim it. Yeah, Corpus Christi. He didn't claim it when he crossed the border, and then they red flagged him and got him in some trouble. But
what?
He didn't think he'd have to claim it. Yeah, he didn't think he'd have to claim a surfboard like a trophy, you know. And he was like,
"Yeah, it's illegal contraband, I guess."
They're
brutal.
Yeah, what do you need that up there? But yeah, they were pretty upset about it.
Let's talk a bit about how the season's been going so far. Like I mentioned in the intro, number 18 in the world, kind of clipping along, got a couple wins under your belt already. How's the winter been? How's things shaping up for the summer run?
Yeah, I feel really good, honestly. It's been a good little winter run aside from, I just got to put just some tough draws in the semifinals and stuff, but this one's looking good and riding good, feeling good. And I've been reading a sports psychology book that I've been kind of dedicated myself to, and that's really been helping my medal game. So it's honestly shaping up really good, and I'm excited. Got a good my old saddle I built, got back in it, got it feeling good. So it's shaping up really good.
What book are you reading?
It's called Greatness by David Cook. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, he's like a golfer, and he honestly got some really good tips on just how to like keep everything the same. Especially in golfing, you got to keep your swing the same, and no matter what shot you're in, right? Like the diversities you find along the course. So the same deal. What works for rodeo is like you're always getting on a different horse, different place. You know what I mean? Whether it's the NFR or wherever. So try to keep it the same, keep your routine the same, and keep your mind the same to make it happen.
And who put you onto that book though too? How'd you get onto it?
David Sharp is my regular rep.
Yeah, David, we know that guy.
Yeah, and he just walked in the dressing room at Rapid there and handed it to me, and then walked out like, he's like, "How's it going?"
Did he say he was
like, "Yeah," I hardly said. He said, "How's it going?" I was like, "Good." He handed it to me and walked out. I was like, "Okay, let's start reading it."
The elusive Sharpie.
Yeah.
So does that book give you like exercises to work through as you read it? I know I read Mind Gym back in the day, and what I really liked about it was like each chapter had like exercises at the end of each trip for you to like act on like the advice that was given to you, which I found really useful rather than just like kind of reading it and like putting it away and moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't do these things, but it's like, I guess it in some sense he does. Like in one part, he tells you like to write out notes to yourself and like saying why you do this sport, like why you started it to regain your passion for it, and stuff like that. So he does have exercise, and like SFT is the one I use, where it's like see, feel, trust. So you like visualize your bronc ride, say, and then feel it while you're in the chute. So how I use it, and then trust that it's all going to work out. And they use that for golf swings, and so it's just like it kind of has exercise in it. I don't load thread mine, Kevin. I think that David Cook, like parts of his stuff are in that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I remember that the name rings a bell. It's been so long since I read it, but it was really awesome. I really enjoyed that book.
Yeah.
So heading into tonight, then what are you visualizing heading into your matchup tonight in Houston?
Yeah, just to see about I don't know, it's the same good spur onto it. I used to have like problems where like I try to visualize my ride like not visualize myself falling off. And I'm like, what is like just negative? I'm like, what is that? So then I just brought it back to basics where I just visualized my spur out. And then once you hit, that's all I realized. Because then there you got it. Like, you got a good spur out, you're on your rein. The rest rolls, right? That's what I usually try to stick to.
And like, is it similar to the bull riding in a sense where you can end up like setting traps or kind of getting ahead of yourself? Where I know a lot of guys will get on a bull that usually goes to the left and they'll be like, I'll go on left, and that's the 10th time that the bull goes right. Do you find there's some of that in the saddle bronc riding, or is it kind of more that you said if you make your spur out in those first few jumps, you pretty much got it sealed?
Yeah, you got it there, but definitely like guys try to plan their spur out or whatever, right? Like reins, I guess you're trying to set a trap with your rein, kind of where you're going shorter or to make the horse better. But I mean, it's not as bad as like, right? You don't have a lot of that dive left, so not that you still pull your saddle square and get on your bronc, but definitely a spur out. It's like some guys will try to plan their spur out on like, okay, this horse has a scoot and then has a off skip and then breaks, and you want to hold the brake, but they go on the off skip or whatever, right? Like to try to make the horse better or pull your feet. Like Jacob Crowley on Joker Poker, kind of kickstart him, so I have a good spur out, but then like halfway through it, punch him in the gut so he breaks, and that kind of like it messed him up where he did it, and then he super did break, but then he couldn't get back front. He missed a couple jumps. So like there is kind of that, I guess.
Right on. Well, part of one of the reasons we want to bring you on right recently is the American was this past weekend, and you were there competing, and it was in a new venue in Globe Light Field. And I guess first things first, how was the new American experience overall for you?
Yeah, it was honestly really, really neat experience, and I liked how they did. Like Tulsa was pretty cool. And then I qualified through there, and that was just kind of a neat deal. They pay really good. Like they brought it kind of, this Teton Ridge brought it to a new ball game where it's like just set up way better, and the rounds actually pay, and I think they're going to do good things with it once the hype keeps going and people find out more about it. But it was kind of confusing at the start what they were trying to do, but it made sense in the end. But yeah, and then getting to Globe Life was really neat. Honestly, it's like AT&T was cool because like you'd walk in there and it was just a big atmosphere, you know? Mm-hmm. And so it's such a big venue, but Globe Life it's a baseball, what do you call it? Diamond, I guess, or whatever. So yeah, it's more like personal, right? Like everybody's right above you. It's kind of like similar to the Thomas and Mack, where it's like everybody's high above you instead of being just like out above.
Yeah. And well, that's what they had the NFR in 2020, right? Was it Globe Life?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because like they probably would have had it set up fairly similar to that then.
Yeah, a little bit different. They used the whole baseball diamond as the field in Globe Life, and here they just use, or in the NFR, sorry. And then this time they just like cut it off to where it's smaller, and they built like stages around it, so you could like there's people seating and stuff. It's a little more.
Yeah, it brought people closer for sure. It's interesting. I wonder about that kind of stuff because, like, I don't know, you know how much hockey you watch where they have like the Heritage Classics and the Winter Classics and stuff, and that's the one complaint that people have is it's up in the stands. Like, it's cool to be there, but you're so far away from the game you can hardly see what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I think definitely the atmosphere in AT&T, right, where it's like, especially in hockey though, it's like you gotta be looking at the puck. You can't see that one in soccer, but yeah. But in this for sure is like Wacey, my girlfriend said that where she was up in the top in AT&T and it was cool, but yeah, it was a lot farther away and harder to see everything. So it's kind of neat to be, and then they got to be right down off the floor level in them stages kind of. So that was cool. They're really good to us that way, like hospitality wise, and giving us tickets. And so it was really a good deal, honestly, and it's just exciting. I don't know, it was exciting and just a lot more, yeah, like intimate vibes. The vibe was just more excitement than I felt in AT&T a little bit. I was also sick when I was there though, so.
How many people this time? Was there like, there'd be what, almost 50,000 people? I don't know what the attendance was like, but quite a few.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they hold. You're probably close there, but they sold it out the night of the actual marathon.
Nice. I really wanted to ask about the Stetson and Dawson ride off of the Saddle Bronc Rider. I think anybody watching would have saw your reaction after Stetson's ride. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the ride and the ride off and how things panned out.
Well, honestly, it was like ranked. Like them boys both made a really good Bronc ride to the 4 round, and Stetson spurred X9 like honestly kind of like no one has. So if they were gonna let Stetson win that, which I kind of thought Stetson was gonna beat Dawson that in the 4 round, and then when they tied, I mean they're both awesome Bronc rides, so I mean it was it was close for sure. And then they tied and it went to the ride off, and then they run into like Amazon Hills. Like I don't know why they picked those 2 horses they picked, but whatever. But Amazon went out there and was pretty good, and Dawson made a good ride on her, and like I just thought hands down that wins. Like Zeke said right there, and like no bias. We like the rights, like Stetson. There's no bias. Stetson's horse just sucked. Like there's nothing to do with him. And that Zeke said right there, he's like, you just won $1 million, Dawson. Like he was like, I thought it was hands down, and then he was 89, and I was like, are you serious? Like we can't. I don't know. It's just frustrating that it goes that way sometimes. But I mean, it's rodeo, right? You can't get too worked up about it.
Well, especially with money on the line, though. It's not every day you get ride for $1 million.
Well, exactly, right? Like, and it was nothing personal. I just thought the horse was way less than Dawson's horse. They both made a very similar ride, so it's hard to judge, though, right? Like, you're watching so many guys go head to head. Them judges, I definitely do give them respect, but they gotta figure that out. Then they take the blame for it. But
so there's 40,300 seats at Globe Life. Probably didn't have every single one of them filled, or even might not have even all been available. But did you guys even know there was the ride off was in the ground rules? Like, was that even in the ground rules, or do they kind of make it up as they go like they used to? Like, that was kind of, some of this American stuff is kind of made up as they go. Like when Wade Sundell won $1 million because he won like 3 times in a row, nobody really knew that was even a thing. What did you know? Because like technically, if Dawson kind of like tied to win the event, he probably should have won the money on the tie in the first place rather than even having a ride off, maybe, right? Or what?
Well, that's what like the rumor, and I don't know, I didn't look into any of the rules, but that's the rumor was that like tie goes to contender in like the first round or whatever, and then so anyways, and then I honestly thought it would go to like whoever won the round before, like the 10 round, the higher score in the 10 round,
or the rider score or something. Like there's lots of ways to break a tie.
Yeah, like something like that. But then it did seem kind of made up a little bit because everybody's going, well, what goes on now? What goes on now? What goes on now? And then one of the judges is like, it's a ride off. And we're like, okay, sure, like so. And then, but for them to run into Amazon, and I don't know, that's why, like, in the event of you were planning on having a ride off, you would think, or planning for one, you would think you'd have 2 horses set, right? But then no one knew what they're going to be. And like, he's like, well, Wild Cherry's the re-ride, so she's bound to be in, right? Whatever that thing was called that sets it on. It's like, how did you guys come up with this? Like, So I don't really know. Yeah, definitely didn't seem planned for, really.
Huh.
To me.
Well, because even in Calgary, like they have like scenarios and scenarios on top of scenarios. I've seen these sheets before where there's, these are the second ride-off bulls, these are the third ride-off bulls. Like they have it all planned out, and they know what these stocks going to be. Like you guys have seen that the last few years where I forget what goes on, but if they buck off all three, then they have three more bulls, and if they buck off those, then it's over. Or like they have all this stuff set so they could find a winner. Where I don't know if this is the case over there.
Yeah, when it right, like, and it flows, and it's all like, yeah, it just makes sense. But like, I don't know, they did. In that sense, like, it was a really good deal. Unless, like, I don't know, they're not, but they do have to, like, they had the meetings before, and they didn't like specify a lot of rules that like is kind of common knowledge, and usually people figure out how to go. But like so Jacob ran, got a ride the bareback ride. And he's like, wow, he was like, there was like 3 horses left the box. So he's like, I'll go to Saddle Bronc ride. So he's standing there without his rig or nothing. Like, well, I'm just going to go to Saddle Bronc ride. And I'm like, I don't know if you get to make that decision, but okay, whatever. And so the last horse bucks, they come to him. They're like, what are you doing? Like, where's your stuff? It's like, you guys, granted on Jacob's side, to play devil's advocate, you should have been ready, but they never told anybody that you have to get on your re-ride in your event like you do, right? So it's just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff like that where just like, no one knew anything, and then just you were in trouble for it, kind of.
So did they wait and get him on his re-ride, or what happened? I don't know what happened.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, oh yeah, they sat there. They just sat there, and like he is the frontier guy, and he kind of does the shoot boss a little bit. He was just furious. It's like, yeah, Jacob was kind of the wrong, being an idiot. But I mean, like, it's like I said, no one told them, and it's like, yeah, he got his stuff on. I mean, he did good. He got his stuff on as fast as he could, run his hand, and then he got smashed, and then they rolled the horse. He did good, honestly. He cowboyed up, and he did really good. But it was just like, I don't know, big in that way. It's just they got to figure some production stuff out, but.
Well, wouldn't that decision fall on the arena director though? I know, like in Calgary, that's the arena director makes that call whether they're going to take it in the Saddle Bronc riding or during the same event. Like, okay, I mean, I don't know why nobody would have like thought of it that way. It's like you can't really get pissed. You only get pissed at him so far for not being ready, but nobody, like you say, nobody told them to.
Yeah, they didn't tell
shit together. Yeah, like what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. Like, where's your shoot boss coming down the line being like, hey, Jacob, you got 3 a.m. Your re-rides now, be ready. Exactly. So that's why it's not like the guy seriously thought he was going to be in the Bronc ride. It was not going to be a big deal. So it's like, you're right there where there should be a director. But it's like, it definitely wasn't heat, but he was kind of just taking on the role. And so like, and no one would really tell you when to pull. And then one of the back judges was just like, well, there's this many left, so I'd pull. And like, so it was just kind of one of the deals where, I mean, but they'll get it figured out. That's their what do you call, like the CEO or the president or whatever. The guy's a beauty, and he was like real adamant on being like, guys, you have to come to us and tell us these things and to make this production better. We're trying to put on best production, but we need your help. Like, we need feedback on it. So it's really good that way. And I think that's what they do need a lot more feedback, making it a little more smoothly run.
Well, probably some a little bit of continuity with some of the staffing might be helpful too. I think things have changed over a couple times. I know our friend Keenan Vine was there, and then after he wasn't anymore. But maybe some of the continuity with some of that stuff and having the same people there year over year would be pretty helpful, because it's been like they've been doing this event since 2000. I think 14 was the first one, so they got 10 years worth. There should be a little bit of book on how to fucking do this thing. I'm sorry, but like you'd think that after 10 years you'd have a bit of more of a plan. I know there's some new ownership, but geez.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, on the sense of, like, that is what makes a production, in some sense, I guess, until it prolongs too much. But that what makes production good is having a team that's dedicated year after year, that are passionate about it, that, you know what I mean, that are there and they have some value into it. They feel like they have a job to do, right? Where it's like, then you bring a new guy in every year and it's like kind of falls apart. Like you're saying, like, you're gonna stay loyal to your guys that do it for sure. And that's where, like, you see Calgary does so good, or you know what I mean? Like these guys that put these on. Houston, he just runs around till his head's cut off, but he's committed, he's passionate about it. You know what I mean? These guys are ready to be better, and so it's a good deal. Like you're right on that. You need your guys.
And they have a format in Houston. Like if you're sitting there before the finals or whatever's going on, you can watch perf. And I did it before where I put a timer on my phone, and as soon as that one event was over, I put a timer on, and it was 2 minutes before the next event started. Like it was actually like a commercial break on TV. It was almost exactly 2 minutes between events. So some of those places, like if they have their format and they know what they're going to do, and they don't know if they do know that they're going to have a ride off and they plan for those scenarios, then they can have that shit sorted out and have the have the tiebreakers and the ground rules. But I quickly looked up ground rules and did not find anything about American rodeo ground rules. I don't know if they would even exist, or if anybody has published those by any means, anyways. But anyways, we got to go back to so this year Dawson had a chance to win $1 million, but it got split by Ty Harris and Jackie Crawford, right? So they both won a $500,000 plus so they won $600,000. So if Dawson would have won, or if they would have given it to him on the tiebreaker, they would have won $433,000 a person, right?
Yeah.
Which would have been his biggest payday ever. Easily.
That would have been for sure. Yeah, it won or sitting for sure.
But so Dawson doesn't win it last year, and you have a chance to win $2 million last year. Kaique Pacheco ends up taking it all, but you could have split that $1 million with him.
Last year.
You could have split the $2 million with him, right?
No, he oh, you mean the bull rider?
The American, the bull rider last year. He won $2 million bucks.
Yeah.
You had a chance to split it with him.
Yeah, that would have been $1 million each. That wouldn't have been a bad payday either.
Talk about what was going through your head on that ride, though, Ben. Like I know I was looking back, and I don't want to bring up like old wounds and stuff, but I mean that's the biggest moment in your career so far. I'm gonna venture a guess out there.
Yeah, for sure. And it was I was like I said, I was sick, so I was honestly battling that. Just I wasn't having the funnest day of my life, but it was right to be there, and I like my draw a lot. Just my head space, I think it was the same as the NFR, honestly, and that's why this book's really helped me. And I'm excited for this year in particular because I've been really using that. But like my headspace was shot. It was just like I was sick. I just ran into a lot of diversity, like David talks about, where it's like I was sick. It was for $2 million. I got a horse I've never been on before that lays down and shoot, and it's just like it kind of shot me to where like. And I noticed when I am like in that headspace, I nod, and then it's like, holy shit, I just nodded. And then you're already behind. You know, like it's just like you got to play. Your mind's gonna catch up. Like I don't know why. So it was like that for me. Like Kays was with me, and he's trying to pump me up, and I just had no like not motivation, but no excitement in me. Like I was just dead, and I was just like not even nervous or nothing. Like it was just like dead feeling. Like like it just got on. Like it was at the practice pen, but not even like felt. I don't know. It was weird.
For $2 million at the practice pen.
Yeah, but it was like not even excited, which is weird. And so that's where I like, and the same with the NFR for me. That one was more like definitely nervous, but same deal in the sense like I got in the chute, just went blank, and like so that's what I've been really working on, and that's where your success lies, right? Is right the moment you're leaving there, whether you're ready to rock and roll or you're not, right? So it was kind of a weird moment for me, but I still tried. I had a good spur out on her, and I mean, I don't know, got rolling, but she bucked off. She just won fair and square. Old feather fluffer.
What were your thoughts afterwards? Like, how long did it take you to realize, like, holy shit, I had a chance here, and what would you have done differently? Kind of give us a breakdown that way.
Yeah, differently. I definitely would have. Well, I really would have liked to read this book back then, but like differently, I guess I would have tried to just, I don't know, like get my mind on my rein, like just in the game somehow, right? Or like I said, like visualize my spur out and just visualize my rein and just like try to do that more instead of like I was just blank the whole time, just got on it. That's something that's key. Like your rein leaving there, you're in the whole time, of course, but if you're on your rein leaving there, you're usually on your rein the whole time. And that sets up your ride. Like it's the most pivotal point of bronc riding. Every time you're in a slump and you're like, oh, I just don't know what to do, right? I'm having hell. You usually can just go back to your rein and your slump goes away. Like, you're not lifting half the time. So
we were talking about the
controlling your rein, getting in a slump, and how
Getting
that
out of
kind of can help you back on track.
yeah, so back to your question though, with my emotions after falling off other floppers, like there was a lot of, I don't know, definitely, a mixed emotions, was angry, sad, whatever. But to where I honestly, it took me a while to work through that one and not look back at it, be like, hey, I got drafted for $2 million and get on a cool horse, and it didn't work out, rather than be like mad that it didn't work out. So that's where I'm at now. I was like, yeah, it was a learning experience and definitely a learning moment for me. And so that's all it was.
You're going back to the American, obviously, and going to ride for these big purses. The guys that do end up winning those big checks, and if you're to go back and win that, like those things could be a game changer for a guy's career. Hey,
career, yeah, for sure. Like, you kind of get a big win like that, then people start watching you, and the judges start watching you, and you kind of get on a heater, right, where you're just rolling with the safety off. And that's definitely, there's them pivotal moments for sure. Like for Zeke's, almost it was like when and I don't know, when he's Killer Beat for the first time, and she had a wild Western trip, and that was back when he was a rookie, I'm pretty sure, or a year after maybe. But
2014 or 15 Tucson. He was like 90 points, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And like that was a pivotal moment for his career, where it was like after that there was people watching him, right? Like this kid can ride, like type of deal. So definitely there is those moments, big wins like that, or just bigger bronc rides in general, definitely help you get there, right?
What would that be for you so far? Would that be like I don't know what the scores were and stuff, but I'm looking at some of your wins in 21, Prineville, Oregon, Pawhuska, Oklahoma, Hermiston, maybe Regina, but might not have been as many eyes on a guy there. Nampa would be a big one.
Are you still waiting for it to happen?
Yeah, are you still waiting? Yeah, I wonder.
Well, there's definitely, I need to put some big rides, like at the NFR and stuff like that. That'll definitely be another turning point. But I think a pivotal one for me that has happened was Get Smart 19 at CFR, and then right after that, 2020, I got on Trump Card, and I was 91 in Denver. And those are two, in my younger stages, was two pivotal ones that, like, after that were talked about. People started watching me after, judges included, like people were coming up and saying good ride that we're at the rodeo. So, that's where it's kind of been so far.
Well, and we talked to Cole Ashbacker before the CFR, and he mentioned how it took some time for like you say, judges to take notice and stuff. And do you think that learning or that curve is steeper for some folks? Like, do you think maybe if you can get one of those like bigger eyes early on, you're going to start getting marked by those judges earlier? Or does everybody kind of have the same kind of like curve, like when it comes to getting those big scores and like getting score when they deserve?
Yeah, no, you're right. Score you deserve, that's kind of the right. Like you gotta, I don't know, it's hard because like every bronc ride should be made scored the same in a sense, no matter who you are, right? But there definitely is a bigger curve for guys like I won't use names, but there's a bronc rider right now going that rides outstanding but never gets scored, right? Like, and it's definitely not fair, and I don't understand why it happens, but maybe he's not as flashy or whatever, but he's 30 rank. And so that's like me and my buddy were actually talking about this the other day. Like Clay Elliott rode so good, dirty, mean feet, right? Like he had an old school style that I would have liked to see his kind of turning point, right? Because like he had a rank old school style, but some judges might a lot like that. Like some judges like flashy upper bodies and getting back, and which Clay didn't do. Yeah, he was short range, saddle more like. So there's definitely, I think you kind of find the guys that like your style and like the things, even though it shouldn't be that way, but I do think it has that niche to it.
Well, do you think that height plays a factor too? Because Clay, like, is a taller guy, and like Cole Ashbacker is a taller guy. Even like looking at the bull riding, like Jared Parsons, like there's a lot of times he'll make a 90-point bull rider, 89-point bull rider look like an 86 just because he's so big and makes it look so easy. Like how, like, is that becoming a factor for some of those guys?
Kind of, maybe, yeah. Like, I know, definitely could be, right? Where they're just, well, especially Clay, right? Like saying with Jared, like he never, his chin would go sometimes, I guess, when his feet hung, but he was pretty correct and just up over him and big, tall guy, like you're saying, like, so it definitely could have played a factor in them guys just not picking up on him at the start as fast. That's what, like, Quentin Taylor, I think, is another guy, kind of an old, the kid's an absolute beauty, and he's like, I don't know, but kind of an old bronc rider type guy. Like, the kid was born 100 years too late, you know, like, yeah. And so it's like, for him, I wonder, like, they are starting to get eyes on him and stuff, but like, I wonder if like the flash of, you know, like the social medias and all this now today play a factor, right? Where it's like, he's not that person. He's like, he's old cowboy that doesn't say anything and is shy and would ride rank and just in an old style. So it's like, he is growing, but I would like to see, so far I've been seeing that they're kind of making it work for a little bit, I think. Where a kid comes in like Rocker or something, where it's like, got the flash, like Rock rides rank, all the talent in the world too, but got the flash and got the sponsors already and got the whole freaking piece put together, right?
He's got the world champion pedigree too, and maybe a few, some stuff set up for him a little bit already. He's in good shape.
Yeah, exactly. And he's pushed, right, where you got to push into it real fast and just take off. And that's your thing. It's definitely a good way to go, but it's just, so you definitely see that for sure.
Who's the dog?
Oh,
Mr. Smudge.
Mr. Smudge. Well, the show Mr. Ledge.
Budge.
That's the Smudge. You got to hold him up again. Show us the rodeo dog.
Yeah, the rodeo dog. He's been coming down the trail.
You can say you call him Smudge?
Smudge. Well, Macy want to name him Smudge, and I want to name him Goose, to his real name, Smudgy Goose. Getting there.
Right on. Where's he at during the rodeos? Like, can he come to Houston, or does he got to hang on the truck? What's he got to do?
He usually ends up the truck, but yeah, we brought him in. Like we bought him in Houston last year, and he's a pup. So Macy snuck him in to the rodeo in her jacket, but yeah, he sometimes comes in when he can.
Oh, that's fun.
That's fun. Rodeo dogs. Ted's got a couple wieners himself.
Yeah, we got some rodeo.
Yeah,
yeah. They're actually behaving by surprise right now. We were talking about a few different things. Wait, so did you have somewhere you wanted to go?
Well, yeah, I kind of wanted to ask you, like, what have you done in the past couple of years to kind of like help yourself stand out and like attract those sponsors and stuff? I know, like, we're kind of touching on that point, how like Hugh's kind of a old school reserve guy, and I mean, no matter which way you spin it now in this day and age, even we heard it from David ourselves when we interviewed him with the CFR, just like they're looking for people on sponsor side of things, looking for people who are doing stuff not only in the arena but outside the arena. So what kind of you worked into what you do to kind of help attract more of that stuff and help yourself stand out?
Well, I honestly didn't I was kind of the same way, where I just did and still am, where I don't really I don't try to get sponsors in the sense, like, I don't got a manager. I don't you know what I mean? I'm not branching out looking for them, but they come to me, definitely, right? And that's where it's like, so I think for me, it was just like my interviews. I noticed that doing interviews kind of took to, I talk pretty good. So it's like,
yeah,
kind of took off there, where people notice that way. And and then I think it's style in the sense, honestly, a big thing is, well, being humble, and a lot of people like that, but that is kind of what you need to be in this sport, I think. But a big thing too, I think, which is a weird thing to factor in, but is how you dress. People if you're dressed. I like when I'm dressed nice, but you know what I mean? Coming to the rodeo dressed, search jeans, whatever, looking good. That kind of attracts sponsors in a sense, hey, that guy looks good. People look at him, he's flashy looking, you know what I mean? We're going to get sponsorship out of it. people will see my stuff. And so I think that a lot of things factor into that, but definitely being, what's the word? Outgoing definitely helps, I think.
I think being willing to show some emotion though too is becoming more of a thing. Like you see with guys like Rocker and like just the kind of like the fine line of being humble, but even like even if you make a good ride and celebrating, like there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. Like it adds on, shows people kind of you're human, right? It's kind of like there's a lot of like gruff around Scotty Scheffler in golf right now because he's so automatic, like he's super humble and he's automatic and so good, but doesn't really show any like raw emotion too much, and it's kind of a good point. Like it just kind of makes it like meh. I'd rather see someone like throw their hat across the fucking arena and be fired up when they make a sweet ride or whatever, right?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Like give a little. Well, this helps the crowd, right? Like get into it. That's what it is supposed to. In the end, it is supposed to be a show, like right. So fuck, I agree. The pig sellies, like the throwing the hat and stuff, sometimes gets a little carried away. But I mean, I like to see honestly some more football sellies in it, like someone freaking, you know what I mean? Like do something cool, like the old bowling fucking rule or something. The boys can get it.
You could blow down your hat. Yeah. Oh yeah, Gronk's. But yeah, you don't rock your hat though; it's too expensive. You need a hat sponsor to be able to do that.
What's the Gronk spike like?
He just like takes the football. You get a touchdown. He just fucking throws the football down as hard as he can on the end in the end.
Yeah.
See someone do that to your hat. It would be so funny.
That would look like you were mad almost. I don't mind the bowling idea though. You could bowl down one of your cousins though. Like you could just huck your hat. That would kind of.
You just gotta do it with like. Make sure there's a cool clown there, like Matt Marriott or like whoever,
Brinson or somebody.
Yeah, Brinson or somebody, and just like, hey, if I'm like 90, like ready to sell you, I'm gonna bully you.
Yeah. You almost gotta tell the video guys and everything. Really dial it in.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun.
Just don't do it far. You'll probably get fined.
Yeah, you might
get fined.
There you go. I don't know. They're pretty good. I wonder if Rock. I know Rock got fined, but I don't know if he got one for a Shelly.
I wonder. Have to create some of that kind of stuff. That shit's marketable, man.
I like it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Taking notes on that one. When you were at the NFR in 21, did you get any crazy fines?
No, I didn't get any. I should have got a fine around 10 because I didn't have my back number on, but the judge even saw it and he's like, it's all right or whatever. And I don't know why I never did, but that's like a big fine too.
Dang.
But I never did get one.
What was the craziest one you heard of that year you were there?
Well, there was a lot on like every night you go look at the sheet and there's a bunch on there, but like usually the common ones are taking too long or whatever, but I think there was a cussing one a couple times. I don't know. There's all kinds of fines that are pretty dumb, honestly. Like the cussing, it's like, how is that? I mean, I get it, but we're not mic'd up or nothing. You know what I mean? It's not Houston, like cares.
Yeah.
But
what do you think of the mic'd up parts in Houston? What do you think of that?
I think it's dangerous in some sense, but I think it is. I think it's fun. Like in the shoot the other day, I kind of talk a lot when I'm getting on to whatever logs of the horse or whatever. So I kind of picked that up, and I thought that was pretty funny, and I kind of like it honestly. But you definitely got to watch what you're saying behind there when you're standing there. Like me and Logs, we standing there, and Cole, Frank's getting on, and I was like, in the barrack riding through lane, and I'm like, I got pissed, kind of. And he's like, well, just go under the grandstand. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, everybody's pissing back there. He's like, just don't, like, them guys that work the shoot. He's like, it smells like piss back there. It's terrible, but just go under there. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. And then he's like, we come and look over, and the mic's right beside us. We're like, oh, yeah, that's fine.
Hopefully they were selective on that part.
Yeah, I don't think it picked any of it up, but
I think it'd be funny if you had a planned bit with somebody, like you had a joke that you told somebody while you're getting on this horse, and you're like, hey, did you hear the one about this guy? And just tell a joke while you're in the shoot about to get on a bronc.
That would be great.
Did you know diarrhea is hereditary? It runs family. Because it runs in your genes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh man, there's probably some management of that, isn't it?
Oh fuck, it'd be funny.
No, you can't do it at the pickup man. You got to do it in the shoots way. So the mics, they got the shoots mic'd up.
Right, if the shoots, I thought it was the individual. Okay, I got you.
Are you
It's what I do.
You could do one with the horse where you're like, oh, why the long face? Or just do something goofy like that.
That would be funny.
Oh,
I
man.
love
I'd probably catch a lot of people off guard if you had a couple of those in the chamber.
just an absolute gem.
Oh man, but how much like would that throw you off though? Like, will that throw you off now thinking about that tonight while you're in the shoe? Like, oh, I should have had something for that. Like, I don't want to mess you up when you go into the semis in Houston.
Yeah, well, it depends. It depends what kind of mindset you're in. If you're confident and rolling out of there, nothing can back you off. Well, then you're probably fine. But if you're lacking confidence, it could be a game changer.
I just noticed your Yellowstone shirt. What's the story with the Yellowstone shirt? Did you buy that? Was it a Christmas gift? Is it a sponsor?
It's a top 10.
What's the deal?
No, yeah, it's just Wrangler sends me all kinds of stuff. So
Oh, I see.
I got a Yellowstone shirt out of it.
Thanks.
Are you a
dude.
fan of Yellowstone? Do you watch the show?
Yeah, I watched up to season 3, and then I kind of it gets a little carried away. It was carried away in the beginning, kind of, and then now it's just getting kind of crazy.
You could almost be like Jimmy's Bronc riding stunt double, though. You guys kind of built the same, eh? I guess bareback ride. That's what Jimmy did with bareback ride.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit of a shot too. Jimmy's not the best looking.
No,
guy.
come on, no.
Oh, Jimmy.
Speaking of bareback riding, I think that was the question you had, Wacey. We had to guess.
Good segue.
We gotta ask Ben about his bareback riding adventures. Didn't you? Wasn't it like Virgil or something ridiculous? You had to get on the bareback riding.
Makeup face, yeah.
Hiccup face. That's
The old NFR limiter, yeah. I was not planning on getting on her when I drew, and then I was like, oh, whatever. You can't be a coward if you're a cowboy. So I thought I'll get on her. That was I'm not quite done with it, I don't think. Every time I watch a really good bareback ride, I'm like, I gotta make one really cool bareback ride. So I think I'm gonna get on a few again and see how it goes. I might go to the practice pen a little more though than just enter it getting on makeup face. Unless I was hoping to draw a Sesame Street there, and then I think I could sprue that one, but makeup face was gonna be a tough one. Tough draw.
How much different is it? Like having been a Bronc, like having, being an elite Bronc rider, how much different is the bareback riding? I've been on buck machines bareback riding before, and I remember having to keep like the elbow
bad.
Yeah, keep the elbow tucked down really. Like, I don't really want to stay under your hand, I think is part of it. I forget now, but like it's not as easy as you just go jump in, because if your arm gets straight, you're gonna get taken to you're gonna get smashed. So
yeah, and that's what I don't know. It's totally different in a sense, like what you're doing, right? But in the sense of like the equipment and like you said, like your sprint motion, all that clearly. But in the sense of like it's very, very similar in like you got to lift on your rigging, like you said, get under your rigging, and so I don't know. In the sense like what you're doing and kind of your mindset is similar, but it definitely feels a lot different. It feels pretty whack, honestly.
You probably feel like you're swimming out of water. You're out of water too without a saddle, right? Because your saddle you got a few more anchor points.
Yeah, well,
you really got to have your core and your hips really perfect in the bareback, eh?
Yeah, and it just feels like you're just out there so free, and it just feels very strange. And all you're tied in is your hand. It's like it's nothing else helping you. So it's kind of, I don't know. You have to trust. But I found with it actually, what I was having a hard time doing is trusting my arm was going to be all right. Like just be like, because you got a brace, you're taped up, but it's just like if you got strung out, then I was just scared that my arm was just not going to feel good. But it actually felt fine. Like my arm never really got sore. Like the braces they use are so good. You tape up so good. Clint taught me how to tape up good. Yeah. I was never sore after this, but to trust your arm, like it feels like it's going to hurt, but it doesn't actually.
Had you done it before? Like, did you do it in high school rodeo? Like, where did this come from?
Oh, I did a school last April with Clint, and I was like, I want to get on one. Like, let's get on one at the school there. So I got Clint's stuff. He had it there to show the kids or whatever. So I just got on one, and then from there I was like, yeah, I'll enter you. And so he got me a rig and hooked up. And I don't know why. I've seen some rank bareback rides in my career so far. And I'm like, I want to try that this one time at least.
So weren't you teaching a school with Clint? Then you're all of a sudden a student as in the bareback riding at the same school you're teaching?
Yeah. Yeah. I was a Bronc ride teacher, but the bareback ride student. Just a good best of both worlds. You got to to make the best school, you got to know what the other side looks like.
That's true. That's a good way to put it. Oh man, I got a lot of questions I could get to. Wacey, what are you thinking? Oh no, okay.
You go ahead.
Which hand are you tying in the bareback riding? I forget now. You're holding your rein with the right hand, but are you putting your right hand in the rigging too, or left? I don't know what. Yeah, same one.
No, I put my right hand in there. So yeah, same one, same right hand.
And there's
with the new all around rules, is there more incentive for you to enter some bareback ridings this summer in Canada?
In Canada, maybe.
So the all around in Canada, I heard a rumor, but I didn't know if that was real or not.
Well, it was real last year, was it not? I thought it changed.
Yeah, Curtis Cassidy won the all around last year.
Oh, really? See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they changed it. Now it's now the like the Kenny McLean Award is the former Canadian all around. It kind of flip flop. Now the Canadian all around champion mirrors the U.S. way. Just two. It's essentially the high.
Yeah, so
what we used to have, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it on the same side. Yeah, well, that's a game changer. I might have to get in there.
Gotta go on Ed's website and look for the bareback riding schools hit this spring.
Yeah. Start entering up. I'm just gonna go home. Frank Wizakowski's got a couple ranked little bareback horses that I actually got on one. He wants me to get on them. And so I think I'm gonna go home and get on them and then go from there. They're pretty nice.
Damn, that's it. You're braver than I am, man. When I was rodeoing, I want nothing to do with those bareback horses, man. They're fucking scary.
Oh, see, I never did either.
Just trying to wet still, eh?
You know, funny we're on this bareback riding thing because there was a couple years in like I want to say 2003-4 somewhere in there where like Tanner Gerlitz got on a bunch of bareback horses and like I think he did pretty good. Like I think he made the national high school finals in the bareback. I'd have to ask him or look back, but Tanner like got his pro card the next year and won his first like 8 rodeos and whatnot and went on to be a Canadian champion. But he actually like entered the bareback riding in the high school ranks and made it a pretty long ways. Like that was a thing he did well at.
I could see Tanner being a good bareback ride, actually.
Yeah.
He's pretty stout. Yeah. I never did that though. That's cool.
Yeah, kind of neat. Sorry, Wade.
Should enter pro gun.
Could have, right? Yeah, why not? 55,000 added July 1st.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How much do you think that would hurt? Like, do you think it would hurt you? Think it'd be an opportunity? There's not as many bareback riders around at this point, right? Like, would it be, or do you not want to get on that many horses that time of year? Are you afraid of getting hurt a bit more? Or like, what are you thinking? What goes into it?
Oh, I don't know. I definitely, I'm probably gonna enter pro, honestly, but it's I wouldn't get on as many. Like I wouldn't film on 100 rodeos. There's no way I'd rodeo that hard. Like if you're trying to make the NFL, you gotta do a little bit of sense. But like them guys pick and choose, right? Not really afraid to turn out and pick and choose their way through it a little bit because you definitely can get hurt a lot pretty easy. You know, I don't know. I definitely would get on like max if I was trying to make enough. I say max, but we bet to on the bubble or not. But I wouldn't want to get on more than 60 a year, probably.
Huh. Well, you could go the Jake Boulder road and go to like 37 or something too.
Yeah, exactly. Just crush everything within a bar.
Get really good.
Even in Canada though, like there's like you have pretty good. If you like crack out if you and do well at some of the bigger ones, you have a pretty good shot to make the CFR in both events. Like really.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Definitely. Guy does good at it.
Does seeing like any of the bigger wrecks of the bareback riding like scare you off? Like when Danny got hung up to Virgil last year, like shit like that, like
no, honestly, not really. I wanted to get off Virgil myself, so I'm like, well, Danny, like, I don't know why. I mean, I get guys at CFR like want to ride. Like, I get why he got on Virgil that day, but you have to. But it's the same sense, his shoulder was coming out every ride. Like, you don't think your shoulder's gonna come out on
fucking Virgil?
Yeah, like it just wasn't honestly the most smartest play. Cowboy play. The guy is no fucking doubt a cowboy, but like I was like, fuck, that's not the best route.
Sorry, Ted, I cut you off there.
No, you're fine. I just my only other stuff I kind of really want to get to is the family side of it, and your dad went to the Canadian finals. I think I was reading up. He went to the Final Four at Calgary 4 times too. Is that right, Ben?
Yeah. He went. Yeah, probably 4 times. They got on Cloud Gray one time there, and which was like I think the year before they won on or whatever. And stumbled, and then back then, like, went down for her stomach. But back then, you didn't get a reride for that. No, it went down to her knees. But back then, you didn't get a reride for that unless it went to their stomach. And so I think he was second or something that day. And then, he went quite a few times throughout the 4 round, and then he went to CFR. It was quite a few times. 14 or something. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, Bronc's good for sure. He was 16th, I think, twice too to make that far.
How big of an influence has he had on you then? Like how much has it helped your career having a dad who's like that rode Broncs and rode Broncs at a high level?
Yeah, definitely. That's why the whole reason I even started riding Broncs, honestly, is because of dad. Like, I was raised motocross, playing hockey, and then my mom moved to Edmonton, and I was like, well, I just didn't really like the city. Wasn't for me, so I moved back to my dad, thinking I was just gonna race motocross more and play maybe AAA or something Stovin, not Edmonton. And then I got on my first steer with Dawson there at the Bullet Ranch, and then I was like, oh, so I think he was pretty excited that I was gonna get on steers. It's kind of something that come out of the blue, So he got pretty excited about that. And he took me everywhere steer ride, and I didn't go with Dad. The same as Rod, he took the boys. Like, Dad took me everywhere. He did the novice everywhere. So I went Indian rodeoed 1 year, and I was I think it was 15. No, I was 16 or 17 maybe. But Dad was coming to all these Indian rodeos with me down south here at I made the short go in Browning, Montana, and then we drove all the way back to Benalto for the novice, and then we had to go back for the short go, and I'm like, I didn't really want to go. They're big, scary Indian horses I've never really seen humans. I'm like, this doesn't sound really that fun, Dad. And he's like, well, we're going. And I'm like, oh, so he drove the whole way back. He's definitely committed to my career.
How did it go once you got there? Oh, yeah.
Bad. That's they run in 4 huge, like, I don't even know where they found these things. They're just giants, black, big, not like they said they've been touched, but I swear these things have never seen a bucket shoot. Yeah, and they all buck too. It's surprising.
Did you qualify for the INFR that year you went to those rodeos then too, or were you eligible to qualify for them?
No, I just went the 1 year, and I was eligible to qualify for it, but I think actually I wasn't very far off qualifying for it. I needed to win Obima, and I think I was second. So that's so I didn't make it, but
Yeah, I did some Indian rodeos back in the day too, but they're fun. Like Sutina, like their rodeo is like one of the coolest spots I've ever been at. And the prize to giveaway is it's insane.
Where at?
Sutina, just outside Calgary there. Did you ever go to their big powwow?
Oh, yeah.
Like one like 10 grand at it or whatever? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to some of the family stuff, how cool was it for you making the NFR for the first time and having your dad down there with you? Obviously, you guys are pretty close when it comes to the career side of things.
Yeah. No, it was really neat, honestly. And Doss made it that year too, and then Roddy and Dad kind of got to hang out. It was a really cool experience, a big learning experience for me. Like, I didn't have to mess at a bar for sure, that I would like that, but I learned a lot. I learned what not to do and what to do, and it was a blast. So I had a lot of fun with my friends. Definitely experience you won't forget. And having Dad there was just neat. He I don't even know honestly if he's ever went down there and watched it. So I think that might have been his first time actually watching the NFR. I want to say maybe not, but if he has went to, he's only went to maybe once. But anyways, it was so it was cool, and he got to see a lot of old buddies he hadn't seen in a long time. Then I got to meet quite a few of his old friends that I've heard my stories about. It was definitely neat for sure.
Well, you guys went to like an Airbnb there, right? Like, so I remember Court told the story how he came over and played some songs and partied with you guys one night and said it was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was actually ranked. Dad got an Airbnb, and then Corb. Well, so the night before, Corb and me and Doss were I don't even know where we were. We were out somewhere in one of them hotels, and it was like 4 a.m, Dawson was on the phone somewhere lost. He comes stumbling back. He's drunk. He like, what? I don't remember what he said. He said, fucking, he had me a beer or something to this bartender. He's like, don't fucking swear. And he's like, fuck off. And then we got all out of there. Gorb was trying to backtrack for us, but it didn't work out. So they kicked us out of there. And then Gorb that night was like, yeah, well, I'll come over and sing songs at your death Airbnb. I was like, oh, shit, yeah. That was pretty sweet night. He come over and played lots. And there was lots of, I didn't even know people that showed up there. There was not a lot. So pretty cool.
You said you learned about what not to do while in Vegas. Would you like to elaborate at all, or?
Well, what not to do? Yeah, no, not too many wild ones, but like just like honestly, like the hotels. I would get an Airbnb just because you're there for like 2 weeks and it's just hotel drinks, kind of just stuff like that, like just to keep yourself fresh. Because by the end of it, it's like every day you got to walk through the frickin' casino, right? So it's like, fuck, you're just getting tired of the casino, and then if you're losing at the casino, and then you're really fucking tired of it. definitely would get an Airbnb. We did, but I should have just split dads with them. But
you also mentioned your saddle way earlier on. There's a lot of little finicky little things on a bronc riding saddle, and you said you kind of rebuilt an old one. I want to get to that a little bit because those things, there's a lot to the bronc riding saddle. What I guess I got asked too. Like, what are you riding? What is that? Is it a lot of those things last a long time? Like, you can get them redone. Like, you probably start off with one of your old ones, your dad's, or something, a Roddy or the boys. Like, there's probably some saddle trading that goes around a little bit too.
Oh, definitely lots. Yeah, I started with Roddy's '93 saddle, and yeah, so that was a good saddle. I gave it back to him. I think some other kids ride it now, but. And then this saddle, it's actually got a funny story, this saddle. So I broke it at San Antonio in 2020, I guess it would have been. Yeah, it was 2020. And before COVID. And so I broke it at San Antonio and I didn't have another saddle. So I called Cody Parks. He sent me a tree like the next day. He's a tree maker down here. And it's a doll, kind of a copy of a doll tree that he custom built for her. So he sent it over to me, and then I didn't have time. I was at the American the next day, semifinal, so I didn't have time to get someone to put the leather on it. So I was going to just ride Chet's Johnson saddle, but it's smaller than mine. But I was like, let's ride it or whatever. Well, then we get drinking beer that night. Beat Chet's, Barris, Dawson, like Chet, everybody at Chet's house, Steveville there. And I got fairly tuned up, and Chet's like, fuck, we could just build that saddle. Let's just move all your leather over to it. And I'm like, well, how are we going to get the rigging straight or any of that? Like, I don't know any of that really. And he's like, yeah, we'll fucking figure it out. So yeah, we just started moving leather over, and then we freaking had some strings and we got the rigging measured out. So we built it that night. That's the saddle. Well, that's the saddle I made the NFR at 2021. And so I don't know why. Right before the NFR, I got out of it thinking there might be this other doll. I was having Al hold my feet. Yeah, this is actually a funny part of that whole story too. Is I was having Al holding my feet in that saddle, and I was like, "What's the saddle?" Like the canal's so flat, I'm like, it's running me out. Like I just can't. And then so I changed saddles, had a terrible NFR. Then I get back in this thing and go to San Antonio and all that, but big 2 jumps, Brooks and everything. And I was like, it's definitely my mind. Like that just goes to show how much your mind does, like. But. So yeah, it was kind of a cool experience. Sure, built on itself.
That's funny.
How many saddles do your dad and Roddy have just kicking around? Like, do they just have like a room in the garage? Like, there's a stack of them, or like what's the deal?
Well, Roddy did because he was like he broke a few or whatever, and then so he had quite a few, and then he ordered a couple new ones because I don't even remember why, because the saddles were changing or whatever. So, like, his '93 saddle is different than his other saddles and all that. So, same as any other thing, I guess. You tried something new. But Roddy has a stack of them. But Chris, he just has one saddle he rode for, I don't even know, I would like probably 20 years, maybe not, maybe 15 years. But he just had one back when spears were making them. So, he has one spear that he just rode. He rode somebody else's saddle before that, but he got a brand new spear. That was his saddle for his career.
Really? And so Seviers are actually from Pendleton, and I was reading up that Pendleton's one of your favorite rodeos of the whole year too.
Yeah, that's a ranked rodeo. Yeah, Severe. I've never been to the Severe shop, which I need to go, but he I need to go see that for sure. But yeah, definitely a cool, one of the coolest rodeos going in probably the world, I'd say, for sure.
Your address is Rocky Mountain House too. And speaking of these saddles, it got me thinking about the Alan Christie song, the old Bronc saddle.
Yeah. Two swells in a camel.
Yeah.
Old Alan,
The Rawhide Lazy Boy.
yeah, he lives right by where I grew up, like where my dad lives. And he's an old beauty, old Alan, but yeah, I haven't seen that old man in a while.
Is that I guess if you're gonna pick a riding song, like your theme song in the bronc riding, would that be it? Like the hometown guy, or is it a little too country and western for you?
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best pump up song, but I think I'd go with something a little different, maybe, but it's not bad.
Do you notice that kind of stuff though when you get like before you know like what songs playing and shit, or do you try to like, or do you like ever talk to the sound guy, like, or if she tell you someone somewhere, do you like anyone plays a song or what?
Yeah, well, I need to, like, 'cause I do have songs I like to hear, but yeah, I'll notice when the songs that I like come on, I'll be singing them in my head sometimes before I'm getting on stuff, but I definitely do notice that sort of stuff.
So this is the first time we've had this happen during a show, but we've got Wiener Dog on the console, and Ben's actually getting some fuel for his truck. But Wacey, we were thinking about what we could pick Ben for a bronc riding song. I wonder if Smudge has any ideas.
Man, Ben strikes me as a guy who like a gravy train guy.
Oh yeah, like Young Gravy.
Some Young Gravy.
I wonder, Macy, what do you think? Are you still in the truck here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to think. Ben has a very wide selection. Let me think here. It's a lot of like. I have a bad word when I would say for it, but I can't say that.
Is it some like
very like hood rat shit? And then the next song will be like Cody Johnson, and then a song that no one's heard for 15 years is something that he'll just play on repeat. But I think Ben's like most toxic trait is that he was and Logan and everyone that's traveled with Ben can vouch for this, is with songs, if he hears one song, it doesn't matter if it's new, it doesn't matter if it's something no one's heard in so long, but he'll get hooked on a song and that's all he'll play. Like on our way from Houston all the way home, it was, I don't know, some Drake song, and he would not stop singing it, and it's on repeat. Like there's no break in between the songs. It's just repeat the same song over and over and over. And then when it's block playing, he's singing it himself, and it goes for little like sayings too. You know, like him and Logan will have a certain word or like a certain like saying that they apply to every single situation.
what's the most recent?
Very annoying. It's the one off your TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you say,
no way.
Yeah, no way. Fuck's sake.
No.
Oh, man. If like, it's a TikTok where is like, say it's like to fill up your fucking WD-40 can that runs out of like juice or whatever, and he fills it up. He sees this guy filling it up with an air compressor. He's like, "What? No way! Fuck's sake!" It just like cracks me up.
Or he'll have like little names that he'll like have for something, and then like I swear there's like I can't remember who we're talking to, and it was like someone we never are around, and they said it, and I was like, "There's no way anybody else came up with that." So like it was. Well, I guess 2 years ago now, Ben and Kays and Logan were headed to Texas, and I was living there. And so they were on their way, and I was just like planning on Ben to be here at like a certain day or whatever. And he's like, calls me, and he's like, yeah, we're not going to be there for a few more days. And I was like, why? And he was like, well, dog water over here put put gas in the diesel tank in Logan's truck. And so
Dog water.
that's been Case's name ever since, dog water. And the other day we were around one of the girlfriends or wives said, that's totally dog water. And I was like, what? How did that happen? Like, everybody uses it now, and like you would not stop hearing that. Like everything that went wrong, or like if someone like pissed the boys off or they did something stupid, like you were dog water. That's what you are. That's your label.
So if K's is dog water, what's can you enlighten us on some of the other nicknames like Logan, Dawson, Ashbacker, Wanchuk? I got
Dawson is Dorf. Leighton is Layla. Cole Ashbacker is, what's his name?
Oh yeah, Elroy.
Elroy.
Got Elroy.
Pat. His name is Cole Pack.
Alpaca. He's got a lot of nicknames.
What are some other ones? There's some pretty raunchy.
Doris is funny because he's like, well, it's not that funny, but he called Layla, and then Layla was crying about it one day, and he's like, I changed my nickname or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna make a girl nickname for you, and if I call him Dorothy. So that's stuff though. Like everybody, there's people that I think don't even know Dawson's name.
No, I'll tell you a funny story. Like Ben doesn't really have many nicknames, but actually the ironic thing is that we're literally headed to Houston and this happened. So it was on like 2020, I think, right during COVID. So Ben like never has to enter himself or anything. Like Logan does it all the time. Like if Logan isn't going to a rodeo that Ben is going to, like I'm concerned that he hasn't been entered because Ben seriously like will not remember, doesn't know how, and he's just like, oh yeah, well Logan did. I'm like, I guarantee you he didn't because he's not even going, but whatever. Anyways, Ben has to enter himself, and they have like a very complex like entering system. Like there's a bunch of like random things that you have to put in there, you know, like I don't know, you write your own biography and everything like that. Well, then they put in, you have to write what your nickname is. And Ben was under the impression that that was what your, like, legitimate, like, what your friends call you. But, like, he doesn't understand, like, that's what your preferred name is supposed to be. So, like, so on the big screen of Houston and everything, it's Benji Andersen, like, the whole time in Houston. And so...
Another sound back concept. Why would they put preferred name then?
Yeah.
Well, mine, just for my story, mine in the pro rodeos and everything used to be William Stovin because my real name was William. So I thought that I had to enter as William, but then when I figured out the preferred name thing, then I was Ted. But I was William before that. Freaking no.
Yeah. I thought a lot of the guys actually gave it through the name with Elbert. And we call him Shorty. I could see why though Delbert's son.
Oh man. Wacey, what else?
Poor Lefty. His real name is Lefty, and Lily said when he was a little kid he would cry at school because people would always ask him what his real name was. He was like, that is my real name. And then the other day on the way to the American, they held him up. Yeah, they held him up in customs because they didn't believe his name was actually Lefty. So they like, they questioned him and everything.
So, you missed the NFR in 2022. You're off to a good start in 2023. Kind of what are some goals? Obviously, getting back to NFR is one of them, but kind of what does 2023 look like for you?
Yeah, definitely get back to the NFR. Honestly, well, I really think it'd be a good year to win the world, of course, but yeah, I'm just kind of really gonna stick to this book and just kind of like for that wise and really work on my mental game and just I've been going to the gym, of course, and like just kind of keep more fit, really commit myself to the process, and so it's definitely going to be more of that. And we'll see how it pans out, but I am excited for this year, and I'm gonna try to bring my BMX bike around a little more. Do a lot more biking and stuff like that.
What's the best trick that you know on the BMX? Like you used to do that at a pretty high level too, didn't you?
Well, no, I didn't do that high level. I just like messed around, but I did a lot of it. But I can 360, I can tail whip, bar spin. Oh yeah.
Did you ever try mountain biking?
I never have, and I really want to. 'Cause I like
anytime.
but I've always liked airing out way more than I like tricks, so that's why I went to motocross. But I'd really like to do some mountain biking for sure.
Anytime you're in BC, hit me up. We'll take you out. We go quite a bit. So
That's neat.
Well, we got I will actually around Armstrong. We got a cabin in Vernon, so
yeah, but
up on that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I think that's the closing weekend of Silver Star usually too. So the bike park up the hill at Silver Star in Vernon is sick.
The you mentioned go to the gym. How much different is the diet, and how tough is it? We've talked to a few people about this, about trying to eat well on the road. That's not easy either.
No, it's really not easy to eat well on the road. And I've been me and Logan's been talking about that. When I in my camper, I'm gonna build a little cooking kind of deal in there, so we can cook more. Because it's not even just it's inconvenient to have to stop all the time, right? And then sit down when you kind of get the rodeo or whatever. So I can build some extra good food in the back, and that's what I'm going to start trying to do, because like you said, it's so hard. A lot of fast food, especially when you're trying to get somewhere, and a lot of veg or restaurants too. And it is good food, them restaurants, but at the same time, they got a lot of GMOs and all kinds of stuff in food that's just hard. Yeah, so.
Well, it gets expensive eating at the restaurants too, man. It's not cheap.
No, exactly, right? So, it definitely adds to a huge portion of your. I was looking at that in my taxes the other day. It was a large amount of money towards truth. So that doesn't help. Doesn't help when we bush and we get stuck with the whole bill.
I'm glad to hear you guys still play bush out there. I've been trying to bring that back.
Oh yeah,
times lately.
That's a good game.
Until you lose.
It's all a good game till you lose.
Yeah. Go ahead again, Wacey, man.
Yeah. Unless so. I think are you got anything else, or should I the finale?
I've enjoyed the heck out of this, Ben. We haven't really had this long of a conversation ever, so I appreciate it. We got to find you that song though. We kind of got sidetracked on the song thing. What do you? I was thinking I was kind of taking you for maybe a classic rock and roll kind of guy, maybe a Def Leppard, AC/DC. AC/DC is kind of everybody's used that, and it's hard to find a unique one because you got to have a unique song for you. But I heard, but then Wacey was saying something about Drake, and then you get on some of the rap music. So I mean, Wacey was thinking it should be Young Gravy. I want to get rid of him a bit.
I like old Billy Squire, honestly. That's what I want. Squire song.
We can probably work with that. That's coming at you soon. We won't get to do it for a while, but
Lonely is the Night.
Ooh, that's a good banger. That's a really good song.
Yeah, we can do that. We can make that happen.
That's the song that you're all about right now. The short one.
That's
So the right one.
Lonely as the Night. That's a great pick. That's easy. That's an easy fix. We'll do it up.
That's a good song.
Won't happen in Houston though. They got everything there. I think is still royalty free for TV. They have to do it where they can't play anything really. They can't play any actual music because it's got to be royalty free for their TV broadcast, I think.
Oh, really? Yeah, and that's why it's so quiet, and then they want to hear the mics. So I don't know. They never really do play songs, really.
Yeah, it's different setup, but somewhere else we'll keep an eye on it. Definitely where we're working with you, we can get it going. So
sounds good.
Okay, Wacey.
Yeah. It's been awesome, man. I really appreciate you taking the time, man. It's been fun to finally get it happening. So it's been sweet, but we'll leave you with the last question that we ask all our guests here. What is your definition of cowboy shit?
Oh, that's a good question. Definition of cowboy shit. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say J.R. Vezane is a very good definition of cowboy shit. That guy's been through the trials and tribulations like no other person. He was a rank bareback rider. Now and then he did a lot of rank guide, doing all kinds of stuff in the mountains, hunting, all horseback, and now with his injury, taking on the lead, trying to figure out how to be a working cow horse trainer. So I'd say that guy's definition of cowboy shit. He's pushed through everything and mind to be one of the toughest human beings I've ever seen. So,
right on, love it.
Well, he's on our list to get him on the show, so we'll take that back when we get him on the show sometime.
Definitely. That's badass.
Well, do good this weekend in Houston, and then I guess you might get home for a while after this, or maybe the California run next. What's the next little bit look like?
Yeah, we're gonna come home and we bought a house, so we're gonna get it all squared away and start painting and doing all that. Yeah, pretty excited to go home for a little bit.
Where'd you guys buy the house at?
Well, just moved what do you call it, double wide onto quarter of land there. So
yeah, Rocky area or somewhere else or what?
Rocky, yeah, just in between Rocky and Eckville.
Oh, right on. Well, congrats on the new place. Yeah. Hope the interest isn't too bad for you. That's a little nasty, right?
Hey, it's not the best, but we're getting by.
Yeah. We'll keep winning and it'll be all good.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow. Well, thanks for joining us, Ben. We sure appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, guys. I appreciate it. It's fun.
Lonely is the night when you find yourself alone. Your demons come to light, and your mind is not your own. Lonely is the night when there's no one left at all. You feel the time is right, say the writing's on the wall. Yeah.
Welcome back. Thanks for listening, folks. This is the Truck Cast. Now in the River Valley, 9.7 kilometers north of Highway 14 on 897 South. For those that know the area, just south of Paradise Valley, I think. I don't know. I forget where we even are.
We're in the middle of northern Saskatchewan, northern Alberta.
North central Alberta.
It's fucking still winter here.
East central? Yeah, it's cold. What is it? I don't even know. It's cold as hell, though. It's winter
cold,
and it's -4 today, and it's sunny out.
What's that in Fahrenheit, Ted?
About
conversion.
27 Fahrenheit, maybe less, maybe 23.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's still winter up here. Hopefully you're warm where you are, folks. But yeah, thanks again, Ben, for being on the show. Thanks for taking the time. He was driving, which worked pretty well. I guess it's an entire truck cast.
I guess the whole I never even thought of that.
We weren't
That's
in the
sick.
truck, so part of it's mostly truck cast though. There's a little ski hill there. That's cool. Yeah. Anyways, we're in the municipal district of Wainwright.
Nice.
And we had a couple more things. So you wanted to bring up the celebration chat we had about with Ben.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool conversation because I think like rodeo in general over the years, like it's kind of been like almost a taboo thing or kind of like frowned upon to like really show a lot of emotion in the arena. You know, I don't know if I'm wrong there, but it just seems like obviously you got to keep it professional and like whatever. But I think being able to show some more, again, like Rocker Steiner, again, we mentioned in the show, but he really kind of rocked the boat when it comes to like showing emotion in the arena or like doing what he does. So I wonder, it'd be cool to see more guys doing that kind of thing because I just think it just makes it more, you become more recognizable to fans and you're not kind of just, and like, it's okay to be excited about stuff, you know? Like, I don't know.
I like the planned one that they might do sometimes.
Yeah, the planned ones would be funny. Like if there's a clown there with like Brinson or like Matt Merritt or Flint or one of those guys who are like really funny and are down for that kind of thing, it'd be really cool to see some like planned sellies. Be awesome.
Could be fun. Could be really fun.
Almost be like calling your shot.
Could be really fun.
Yeah.
There was other stuff I wanted to talk about too, Wacey. The guests on the show. Sometimes we get wondering who we want to have on the show.
Yeah.
Hope y'all enjoyed. We had a pretty big streak of ladies there for a while between our friend Cassie Hausauer, Jill Barron, Shaylee Ham, and then double down last week with Alex Ludit and Melissa Hollingsworth. Hopefully we're trying to engage a larger audience here on some of these pieces.
Keep it fresh for you all too, right?
Trying to make it different. So hopefully everybody's enjoying the shows. But I want to say, if you're listening, you are.
We want to hear from you guys.
We want to hear from you though, yeah. So let us know who you want to hear from on the Cowboy Shit podcast. Your thoughts, who we should talk to, who you might suggest, maybe a contact you have that should be on the show.
Would be a good fit, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a list of a few folks, some stuff in the works, but tell us who you want to hear from on the show.
We're here to serve you guys.
What you like as far as the format is. We've kind of had a similar format for a while, but we're open to changes. But let us know what you think. We're going to keep rocking on this. We're at 140 today, I think.
140, and we should be, by the time the show comes out, I'm guessing
close
we'll be
to 400.
we were at 398.9 last night when I looked before bed.
Nice.
So we
Cool.
should be at 400,000 downloads.
Pretty
so
close.
we should and saying that we should say thank you to everybody for listening over the years. Like it's been a
Thanks
big
for
run
staying
for us,
tuned.
and we really appreciate everybody listening. So it's always nice to
And-
hear people commenting on it. So
As a thank you, if you're not on our email list, you should probably join it because we got a special promo coming out with today's show. Stay tuned to your emails for that.
Yeah.
And as an addition, we also have the Pod 15 promo code. So if you're not much of an email person, but you want to still get a discount on our new gear, we got a bunch of new hats. Make sure you check out those, everybody. A bunch of new clothes. We'll have new stuff on the way again later in the spring here, summertime as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pod 15, POD 15, 15% off
big-
your order at CowboyShit.ca.
yeah, it's a big thank you for following us for
Or
over the years. So it's
if you're in America-
400,000 downloads.
If you're in America, it's CowboyShitOfficial.com
Dot
or CowboyShitUSA.com if you want to live on the .com side of the world.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. That's
one more thing.
things.
Yeah, one more thing before. I guess one more thing I want to get to for sure before we go is recently Lee Bellows passed away. And he was a big influence and worked the amateur associations in Canada for a long time. He comes from the same part of the world as my dad, so my dad's known him too ever since he was a kid. So Lee is like one of the, you could call him a builder of rodeo more so than what he did in the arena. He was always willing to lend a helping hand, and he put on a lot of rodeo schools in Moose Jaw. Like got a lot of people they're kind of their start in like the CCA and amateur rodeo, kind of in Saskatchewan, Southern Alberta, Manitoba, that type of thing. So it's a tough day for rodeo kind of across the board, but really thankful to have. I even like for me crossing paths with Lee as much as I did. He always had a bottle of water or something nice to say to you. So definitely going to be missed around the rodeo, especially in Saskatchewan. So thinking of Lee and his family, and we'll hopefully help his memory live on here throughout the coming years.
Lee, I got to work with him on the rodeo side of things maybe once or twice in Verdun, but enjoyed being around him and just like you said, one of the nicest people in the whole deal. Knew who we were and knew.
He was a very genuine fellow.
Yeah, super.
And he's always willing, and he had some great stories, like always willing to share. Like he on his Facebook page, like he always posts old pictures with because he worked a lot with like Raymond Goodman, Ryan Byrne, like all those guys coming up through the ranks, right? Like Lee fought bulls before he got into rodeo clowning.
Oh,
so,
really?
Like he has some really cool old school pictures, and his wife Teresa, she would always bring a camera around to rodeos and take pictures and just give them to people for free at CCA rodeos and stuff. So they're a heck of a family that's done a lot for, like I said, for amateur rodeo in Saskatchewan mostly, but kind of across the board. So
outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, we'll miss you, Lee,
Yeah.
but thanks for what you did for the sport, and thanks for always being there for everybody. Honestly.
Yeah. No. He'll be missed, but what he did will never be forgotten. So we're thinking of him.
Well, that nice way to finish up the show, Wacey. Thanks for sharing your stories with Lee. If you've got a story about Lee, make sure to send it our way sometime here, and we'll
bring it up,
share some of our favorite ones on different pages and whatnot, and maybe on the show here coming up. So thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to Ben Andersen being on the show this week. Thank you, Wacey. Our editor Sean Morton, and
check us out on social media, Cowboy Shit Official.
Yeah,
stay tuned for all that kind of stuff. We got shit happening all the time. So
we'll see you out down the road sometime, folks. Have a good one. We'll catch up soon.
Now I just found